Over the next 20 minutes, I'm going to change your relationship with sleep forever.
The way you do it and the way you view it will fundamentally change on all levels. This video contains everything I have learned over the years to become an elite sleeper. When I was a restless, anxiety-ridden, work-obsessed, sleep-deprived person, I prayed for a video like this.
Now that it has found you, take that as a sign that you need to take the next 20 minutes to drastically improve the next 20 years. If you can't, I guess the sleep struggle isn't real enough for you. All that said, just how bad is bad sleep?
1 in 3 adults in the US report not getting enough sleep on a regular basis. People who sleep less than 6 hours per night are 4 times more likely to develop depression. 70 million Americans suffer from chronic sleep problems. That's 20% of the population. And chronic insomnia has been linked to a 33% higher risk of developing dementia.
Poor sleep is more detrimental to our longevity than smoking. These stats are intense, and I don't even think they paint a full picture of the problem. After taking an informal survey of my family, friends, colleagues, and clients, I did not come across a single person who claimed they were fully satisfied with their sleep. Not one. Let me know in the comments, how many people do you know who get a good night's sleep, wake up feeling well rested, have a good day because of it, hit the pillow again that night, do it all over again and again year-round? Come on, gang, in this economy, no one does this.
So the first step to becoming an elite sleeper is to admit that we have a problem. Our sleep is not as good as it needs to be fully formed versions of ourselves. Once we have fully made that admission and accepted the gravity of it, we will have taken the first step to becoming an elite sleeper.
The unspoken horrors of bad sleep. Unfortunately, people with generalized anxiety disorder are 4 times more likely to have chronic sleep issues. I am one of those people. Several years ago, I lived in an anxious cycle of a fear-filled day, followed by little to no sleep, followed by another anxious day, and on and on. At times, I was so anxious and got so little sleep, it felt like I was losing my mind.
I had horrible nightmares. At times, even when I did fall asleep, I would jolt awake in a panic. I even experienced sleep-deprived, or what's called hypnagogic hallucinations. What is your biggest struggle with sleep? Let me know in the comments. Honestly, gang, after a while, I literally started to fear bedtime. I would dread the evening because I knew that meant I was going to have to try and fall asleep again, and 10 times out of 10, that was a scary experience. Even when things started to get better with my anxiety, since I hadn't fixed my sleep, I opted for what's called revenge bedtime procrastination. RBP is when you stay up late on purpose, even when you're exhausted and know that you need sleep, because it's the only time in the day where you feel like you have control or time for yourself. It's common in people who feel overwhelmed, anxious, or burned out during the day. You steal back time to scroll, binge watch, or overthink, even though it robs you of rest and makes the next day harder. I would be shocked if anyone watching this video is not guilty of RBP themselves. Our bedrooms have become venues for RBP instead of sanctuaries for sleep. Our brain does not associate our beds with sleep. It associates them with playtime or worry, which makes falling asleep that much harder. Our entire society has become habitually bad sleepers.
And our mind, our health, our dreams, our passions, our futures, and even our children are paying the price. Well-rested people make for a peaceful, joyful, loving society. So what kind of society do you think non-well-rested people make? If there is one thing you walk away from this video with, it should be that good sleep is the most practical, utilitarian thing in the human existence.
It's more important than exercise, than nutrition, than modern medicine, even more important than knowledge. This isn't my opinion, it's backed by science. Bad sleep is worse for us than smoking, and good sleep is better for us than spending quality time with loved ones. Let's take a deep breath and wrap our minds around this. Sleep is a big deal. It's the biggest deal. This is the second step in becoming an elite sleeper. After admitting we have a sleep problem, we need to acknowledge that it is the most paramount problem we have. We need to accept this to change the way we sleep and the way we see the world.
We don't need to get a good night's sleep to rest our body after a hard workout. We need to work out hard to exhaust ourselves to ensure that we are prepared for a good night's sleep. We don't need to eat healthy to support our circadian rhythm. We need to lock in our circadian rhythm to ensure our sleep cycle enables proper digestion and nutrient absorption. We don't need to quit drinking alcohol so we sleep better. We need to sleep better so we emotionally regulate, and then maybe drinking won't appeal to us so much in the first place.
This is how sleep elites see the world. Sleep comes first. If we sleep well, wellness is inevitable.
How to become an elite sleeper. So why are anxious people built for better sleep? Because in a world of non-stop grind and endless blue light distraction, we are going to be the only ones motivated enough to become elite sleepers. Anxiety will be the fuel that drives us to sleep greatness. We are the people who will treat sleep like it's the most important thing, because to us, it is.
Okay, you've waited long enough. Step 1, acknowledge we have a sleeping problem. Step 2, acknowledge it's our biggest problem. Step 3, treat it as such. Okay, so how does one treat it as such and become an elite sleeper? Well, as I'm sure you can imagine, I have tried everything.
Nose strips, ergonomic pillows, a dawn simulator, drugs, supplements. I had a sleep study done. I have a purple mattress. I put up blackout curtains in my room. I use mouth tape.
Like I said, I was a horrific sleeper. My anxiety pushed me to the ends of the earth and back. But now you don't have to do that. I can show you what works and what doesn't.
And since you've been so good and stuck around, I am going to rank the best sleep solutions in order of importance. I promise making just one of these a priority will improve your sleep. Take on all of them and you will be an elite sleeper in no time. Priority 1, don't give a damn about sleep. Wait, what? I thought you just said sleep should be our #1 priority. I know, but hear me out. This is insanely important. Life's most valuable things, love, joy, peace, rest, become more elusive the more we try to attain them. This is how we can know sleep is one of the most important things in the universe, because it falls into this category. Good sleep, real rest, is not an ability we acquire. Like love, it's something we already have. Our society has brainwashed us into covering it up, and now it needs to be revealed. The more desperately we want a good night's sleep, the further it gets from us. The more we acknowledge it as an innate experience that already lies within us, the closer we get. We don't acquire rest, we rest. We don't work into a good night's sleep, we fall into it. If we are ever lying in bed trying to fall asleep, we are reinforcing the habit of being a bad sleeper. If we care more about a big meeting or a huge exam we have the next day than we do about loving our mind and body and giving them rest, then we are severing our connection from elite sleep. Elite sleep being the kind that dogs and babies get so easily. They don't try for it. They just do it. So if thoughts of tomorrow are keeping us awake, if we're feeling anxious before bed, if our mind is racing when it needs to be resting, we should just surrender and practice acceptance. If you are ever caught in the falling asleep, staying asleep struggle like I was, ask yourself these questions. Would a baby act like this? And would a baby think about their sleep in this way?
Seriously, babies are great sleepers. Let's follow their example. Like them, we aren't going to hustle our way out of bad sleep. Our efforts will only make it worse. The only way the solutions to follow will work in our favor is if we adopt this philosophy first. You can't give a damn about sleep. It sounds counterintuitive, but you need to trust me.
Priority 2, exhaust your mind and body.
We are Ferraris that are getting driven like golf carts. If we want to get good sleep, we have to put the pedal to the metal on a regular basis. We used to hunt woolly mammoths. We used to toil fields from dawn to dusk. That's what our bodies are capable of in a 12-hour period. Now we sit in an office chair for 9 hours, watch Severance for 2 hours, and wonder why at the end of the day we aren't exhausted enough to fall asleep. Gang, we need to exercise our mind-body in healthy ways. Try having stimulating conversations throughout the day and regularly practice showing love and affection to your partner. And we need to push our limits physically. If our jobs are not laborious, we need to go to the gym and get after it, or go on a long walk or run. Otherwise, we are going to get into bed and the engine will still be revving.
Priority 3, change what you are feeding on.
Alcohol, excessive caffeine, unhealthy foods, violent, scary movies, social media, screens, toxic relationships. What poison are we consuming before bed? Here is a great question we should be asking ourselves constantly before partaking in anything. Will this enhance or diminish my sleep? Being an elite sleeper means actively avoiding things that diminish our sleep.
Priority 4, adopt a my bed is for sleep only mentality.
It's as simple as it sounds. Unless we are falling asleep or sleeping, we should get out of bed. We don't want our mind to think this place is for anything else. So don't watch TV in bed, don't scroll in bed, don't eat in bed, and perhaps most importantly, don't ruminate in bed. If we are lying here feeling anxious with racing thoughts, we need to accept the fact that it ain't happening. We should hop out of bed and go do something that we find relaxing and enjoyable. Happy people sleep infinitely better than people trying to do the right thing. So if you tried to fall asleep at the right time and it didn't work, pat yourself on the back for trying, and please just go do whatever the heck you want. Watch some tube, have a snack, read a book, whatever. You tried, it didn't work out, so be it. Putting pressure on yourself does not make for good sleep. Trust me, I know from experience.
Priority 5, tips, tricks, and gadgets. Here's some tools I have actually found helpful. Anything that removes light and sound. Blackout curtains are a great start. A dawn simulator. Waking up to light is so much more pleasant than a loud alarm. Anything that improves breathing. I have found that a magnetic nose strip and mouth tape are hugely beneficial. The 4-7-8 breathing technique. I have detailed this out in the description. This is for when you really can't fall asleep. I was taught this by a sleep specialist, and it's used in the military to help soldiers fall asleep in high stress environments. Now here are some tools I personally think are BS.
Mattresses. They are wildly expensive for no reason, and I personally have tried several outrageously priced ones. I have gotten some of the best sleep of my life on a crap mattress, even in a tent on the ground. I am not saying that a great mattress won't be helpful, but please don't think that you need to take out a second mortgage on your house to be an elite sleeper. This process doesn't have to be expensive.
Ergonomic pillows. Same as mattresses. If they work for you, great, but don't break the bank. Drugs and supplements. Either they just don't work, or at best they mask the root cause of your bad sleep so it never gets addressed. Also, we could do a whole nother video on this, but sleeping medication can be highly addictive and dangerous. And that's coming from someone who is prescribed as needed sleeping medication. Remember, tips, tricks, and gadgets are the last priority for a reason. Despite what social media says, a good night's sleep is not reserved for people with the most cool gadgets and supplements. Human history proves we are capable of a good night's sleep on a mattress of hay in a cave. There is no magical cure. Sleeping well is an innate lifestyle. It's attainable for everyone.
I hope by now you have realized that you are already an elite sleeper. Maybe you've just forgotten. Give some of these a try and let me know in the comments how they impact your sleep. That said, I'll sign off with this. If it's just one of those nights or weeks where good sleep is elusive, we should just accept it. We shouldn't try to fight it or rush to buy some new gadget. We should just accept it as part of our path. Let's all try to go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time every day, no matter what, and leave the rest in God's hands. Remember, the harder we try, the harder it will be. We need to acknowledge this as important while at the same time being super patient and gentle with ourselves. Gang, like I said, babies do this. So can we. With love and patience, we can find our way back. My name is Henry, and I blend physical fitness, mental health strategies, and spiritual principles to help you overcome anxiety and lead a more fulfilling life. You can think of me like your personal trainer for anxiety. We can connect, I can coach you, and I look forward to getting to know you and walking this path together. So if you are struggling with anxiety, please take the first step and book a call with me directly at the link in the description. I hope you found all of this as helpful as I did. I am wishing you a restful night's sleep. Good night, my friends. Mwah.